Good evening, everybody. My name is Justin Crocker. I've been the Assistant Commonwealth's Attorney for about 7 years now and the Acting Commonwealth's Attorney since October of 2017. And I am the Democratic candidate for Commonwealth's Attorney for Logan and Todd counties. I'm here tonight with my beautiful wife of 10 years, Christy Crocker, and I was raised on a dairy farm in Middleton on the Logan County-Simpson County lines in Logan County, Kentucky. I graduated from Logan County High School in 1997, where I was very active in the FFA and the vice president of our chapter my senior year. After high school, I attended the University of Kentucky and graduated in 2001 with a BS in agricultural economics. From there, I attended the Appalachian School of Law in Grundy, Virginia, in the heart of the Appalachian Mountains. I graduated there in 2005 and returned home to our family dairy farm in Russellville, where I'm still actively involved to this day. I first took a position with the Barren River Area Safe Space, which is a domestic violence shelter and prevention program in Bowling Green, working with the victims of domestic violence. In 2008, I took a position with the Public Defender's Office in Hopkinsville, Kentucky, providing criminal defense to indigent clients charged with crimes. When Assistant Commonwealth's Attorney Joe Ross was elected Logan County Attorney, Ms. Geiling offered me the position of Assistant Commonwealth's Attorney, and I accepted. It allowed me to spend more time with my family, and it allowed me to directly have an impact on my local communities. In October, as most of you know, Ms. Geiling was indicted with a felony and temporarily disqualified. At that time, I was appointed special prosecutor for our circuit by Attorney General Andy Beshear. My first act was to get funding to hire Elizabeth Teal to be my part-time Assistant Commonwealth Attorney. She's a Todd County native, but currently lives in Auburn, Kentucky. A few things we've accomplished since I have been appointed is an increased use of technology in our office. We've looked into the process of e-filing to e-file our documents to save the taxpayers money in terms of paper costs and other expenses. Also to increase the efficiency of our office. We've looked into electronic file management systems to help us to manage the multitude, the hundreds of files that we have in our office. We've also taken steps to improve the chain of custody of evidence within our office to ensure the security of evidence that we maintain. The biggest accomplishment we had was in January of this year, when we obtained a conviction for murder and tampering with physical evidence against George Walker, who was convicted of strangling and disposing of the body of Allison Walker in Shaco in Logan County. He did receive a 55-year sentence, which is the highest number of years that could be imposed short of a life sentence. If elected, there are several things I would like to accomplish. I would like to increase our presence in the community and our availability to the community in general, including greater presence at community events. We've begun a Facebook page to try to create a social media presence, and we've even looked into starting a website. Is that I've got 1 minute left or 1 minute down? 1 minute left. Oh wow. I would intend to start regular office hours here in Todd County because I've felt for some time that a victim of a crime should not have to drive to a neighboring county just to see the prosecutor handling their case. We would like to start an on-call cell phone to be carried by myself or an employee of our office at all times to be reached by local law enforcement. We would continue to battle the drug epidemic plaguing our community, but my long shot goal would be to see improvements on our mental health system here in Kentucky. People should vote for me for my experience. I've seen the courtroom from many perspectives. The perspective of a victim, of a defendant, of a judge, and now as a prosecutor. The job of the Commonwealth's Attorney is not easy. It involves making very many difficult decisions that affect victims, defendants, families, and community. I've taken an oath to make those decisions, and I do not take that oath lightly. That is why I'm running for Commonwealth's Attorney. That is why I'm asking each of you for your vote when the time comes so that I can continue to help people and to help keep our community safe. Thank you. Good evening. My name is Joe Hendricks. I'm a candidate in the May 22nd Republican primary for Commonwealth's Attorney for Todd and Logan counties. As you may know, the Commonwealth Attorney is responsible for prosecuting the most serious felony cases in circuit court. I have been an attorney for over 20 years, but I have over a decade of experience prosecuting serious criminal cases while managing and leading a prosecutor's office. After I graduated from Logan County High School in 1988, I was awarded a scholarship to Berry College near Rome, Georgia, where I met my wife, Kay. During law school, I interned. After that, I graduated with a degree in economics and political science
and went to law school and finished law school in Atlanta, Georgia. While in law school, I interned with the United States Attorney's Office in Atlanta, and upon graduating from law school, I worked as an assistant district attorney for 3 years. During those 3 years, I tried over 30 jury trials, including serious child abuse and drug cases. Following that, 6 years of private practice where I handled civil cases and criminal defense cases. After 6 years of private practice, I was elected as the chief prosecutor for 3 counties in North Georgia, where I served as an assistant. After my second term, I moved home in 2013. As your next Commonwealth's attorney, I would like to use my experience to see that justice is fairly administered, criminals are held accountable, and victims have their day in court. I will work with your law enforcement agencies to ensure that cases are prosecuted fairly and with integrity. When I previously served as an elected district attorney, I worked to use technology to improve the efficiency and workflow of the office. My circuit was one of the first 2 in the state of Georgia to implement a web-based case management system that was later adopted by almost every circuit in the state of Georgia. The realities faced by any office in Kentucky, dependent upon state funding, will require the use of technology to improve efficiency, because we will not have more money to operate our offices, we'll probably have less. I'm currently in private practice with an office just across the street from the courthouse in Russellville. I'm admitted to practice in law in Kentucky, Tennessee, and Georgia. I work with Amy Brooks in the firm of Brooks and Hendricks and practice criminal defense. We handle general civil litigation, family law, and also focus on estate planning. In my practice, I serve as the attorney for the East Logan Water District, the Russellville Electric Plant Board. I also do pro bono work for the Cougar Foundation, which is their athletics foundation, as well as the Logan County chapter for Habitat for Humanity. My wife of 25 years is Kay. She's a teacher in the Logan County school system, and we have one son, John, who is a junior at the Logan County High School. I was born and raised in Logan County, but I do have connections in Todd. My late great-aunt, Nanny Gregory, and her husband, Wilbur, lived on a farm just north of Guthrie, and her children and grandchildren still live in Todd County. And my parents are Joe Wayne and Kathy Hendricks, who were retired from farming and agribusiness. Since being back home, I've been served as president of the Logan County Chamber of Commerce. I've also served on the Tobacco and Heritage Festival Planning Committee and am the director of the annual bike ride for the Tobacco Festival. Kay and I are members at Liberty Baptist Church, and we both serve as Sunday school teachers there at Liberty in Auburn. And I want to use my 20 years of experience as an attorney and over a decade of experience in prosecution to help improve the place that I love most. And so I'm asking for your vote in both the Republican primary in May and in the general election in November for Commonwealth's attorney. Thank you.
I want to thank the Elkton Rotary Club for having us here tonight. And I'm looking out at folks from Todd County, and I have to think, as you're looking up here, 3 folks running for an office, all of whom come from Logan County, you have to be thinking, who are these guys? Why would they be here asking for my vote? And let me tell you what I know about Todd County. Some of my fondest memories come from my childhood on just off of Highway 79 on Allensville-Daysville Road. That's where my dad grew up. His parents were John and Odin Kerr. He grew up in a house with 5 siblings and 1 bathroom. I can't imagine that, but that's where he grew up, in a house that his dad and his grandfather built. And my dad's here, Dr. Kerr. I know a couple of people have already come over and noticed that there may be a little delinquent in a checkup due at his office, but I'm fortunate because my dad grew up milking cows and raising tobacco, and somehow figured out a way to be a good provider and instill work ethic in me, but spare me from milking cows and working in tobacco. And I know that in what I've done in my life to this point, that I can barely grasp what life was like for him growing up on a farm with 5 siblings. I have people who come up to me and say, "Now, which one are you? Are you Max or Kenny's or Paul's?" And so typically I say, I'm the dentist's son. Today I was in court and the young lady said, "Now you're Dr. Kerr's brother, right?" So I don't know if that means I've gotten that old or if he still looks that young. So since he's here, I'm going to say it's because he still looks that young. In addition to spending time in Todd County growing up, and my grandfather, John Kerr, he spent time in Russellville as the plant manager there. When my wife and I got married in Todd County, the person who married us, I saw him on the way in, Judge Gill, and if you get on Facebook to fact check this, you're going to go, those pictures don't look like they're in Todd County. I don't remember seeing a beach and Hispanic folks carrying flowers around. That's because we got married in Mexico, and then we did our legal ceremony here in Todd County. So I feel like I've spent a lot of time here. I know folks here. We've been to Albuquerque, Trenton, Guthrie, and of course we spent time in Elkton. I spent over a year working with Ken Dillingham, who was the first district judge for Logan and Todd County. I spent over a year working with Jason Petrie, who's your state representative. I spent over a year working with Ken Williams, who is the judge for the Logan District Court. I spent a year clerking for Circuit Judge Tyler Gill, and I feel like all of those people have helped shape who I am today, and all have a piece of Todd County and what they do when they go to work every day. And let me tell you the two things that I believe I bring to the table. I have over 12 years of experience, all in Kentucky. I've appeared in 14 different counties in the Commonwealth of Kentucky, and every one of those cases, I believe, made me not only the most experienced attorney, the best experienced attorney, but it's given me two things. It's given me the wisdom to make good decisions. And you're going to need a prosecutor who's going to need the wisdom to define justice for each particular case. And everybody should be treated the same under the same set of facts, regardless of who you are, where you came from, what your name is, where you work, who you know. And then you're going to need someone who has the courage to implement that wisdom in the decision they make. You're going to have to resist temptation from maybe a law enforcement officer who disagrees with you, or you're going to have to support the law enforcement officer and resist temptation from the victim or from the family of the defendant, perhaps, who thinks you're being too harsh. So you're going to have to implement wisdom in your decisions, and then you're going to have the courage to put those decisions into place. And I have that wisdom, and I have the courage to resist people swaying me one way or the other. I have the ability to be objective and treat people fairly. And for those reasons, I'm going to ask you, when you go on May the 22nd, that you vote Kerr for Commonwealth's attorney. Keep this in mind. When you go into the voting booth in May, there's one race that covers Logan and Todd counties. It's the Republican primary for Commonwealth's attorney. When you see that, you push Kerr and you'll be making a good decision. Thank you all for having us.
Hello. Thank you, Rotary, for hosting this event. My name is Todd Mansfield, and I'm running for Todd County Judge Executive. For those of you that don't know me, I've got a list of things to tell you about myself. I am a Todd County native. I'm married to Hannah Hampton Mansfield, and we've been married 26 years. We have 3 children, Allison, Abby, and Aaron. Allison and Abby are both students at University of Kentucky, and Aaron is a 6th grader at Todd County Middle School. I am a graduate of Todd County Central High School. I attended Hopkinsville Community College for a couple of years and then transferred to Western, where I received a finance degree and a economic minor. I am a member of Peachtree Memorial United Methodist Church, and I'm also a member of the Hopkinsville Community College Foundation Board. I also coach soccer for the middle school, and I'm currently employed at my family's auto dealership in Russellville, Kentucky. I'm also employed by Belanger Appraisal in Hopkinsville. Some of my past experience include banking. I was a banker for 22 years. I've served on the Todd County Industrial Foundation Board, and I've served on the Southwest Kentucky EDC. The reason I'm running for Judge Executive is because I love Todd County. I believe Todd County has a great future. I want to work with the fiscal court to continue what they've been doing so well, but I also want to focus on the areas that need strengthening. I realize that many Todd Countyans face issues, and I also realize that the fiscal court cannot fix everything. But I plan to listen and address and work toward solutions that we can all live with. If I'm elected as Todd County Judge Executive, a few areas I want to focus on are jobs, education, addressing the drug problem that affects us and the whole area, broadband and cell service. I'm a victim of that. Parks and recreation, and our farming industry. Since my campaign began back in November, I've been trying to meet as many people as I can, but Todd County is, when you go knocking on doors, it's a big county. And so over the next few weeks, I plan to visit more and more, and I will close with a few reasons why I think you should vote for me. I'm a concerned citizen. I have business experience. I'm an approachable and dependable person. I'm active in our community, and I'm the same today as I was yesterday and will be tomorrow. My name is Todd Mansfield, and I'm running for Todd County Judge Executive. I humbly ask for your vote. Thank you.
I'd like to welcome everybody here tonight. I'm glad we got a huge crowd. My name, I'll start here. My name is Carl Knight, for the record. And I'm running for the office of County Judge Executive. I am a long lifetime resident of Todd County. I've served as county judge from 2003 to 2006. We accomplished many things during those 4 years. One of the main things we changed when I first came here, we had ambulance service with just basically life support. So, along with the several of the magistrates and good work in physical court, we changed over to advanced life support, which is very important because this community does not have a hospital in our county. We relocated to Todd County Dispatch and received many grants to update our equipment. We went from having one dispatcher on duty 24/7 to having a second dispatcher on prime shifts. We began construction of the Todd County Detention Center, which is other known as the jail down here, get it correct for everybody, which now houses Class D inmates to perform the community service everybody sees here in the community, mowing, picking up the litter and whatnot. And I'd also like to add to the fact that it created 30+ jobs here in Todd County for people to work. And not only that, I've noticed some cemeteries around the community where they have no funds to keep them mowed, and all the county parks and whatnot, they're all being mowed by the county inmates, which in return is for community service. Also during my term, we started the paperwork for this nice building right here. A lot of people not aware of it, but it did. Squire Branch sitting back there, he'll tell you, it actually comes out of our court where it started. And we accomplished all these great things and created no new taxes for nobody. And one of my goals is to continue moving forward, bringing in new industries and jobs without raising taxes. Todd County has one of the lowest tax bases of any surrounding counties. I would also like to secure state funding and restart this recycling program that once was in place at the little convenience centers, which in return will save the taxpayers money and landfill fees. I will actively seek grants to better fund Todd County, and I'm active with many youth groups, 4-H for starters. I help them practically every Thursday night for shooting sports. Then when they have a big Dunn's on Saturdays from other counties to come and stuff, I'll go out and help cook and whatever else needs to be done there. And I know there was a lot of issues when I was judge before over building the jail. But what I find out now, there's a whole lot less money coming out of the general fund for the jail than it was before. We're talking about for $400,000 top. And anybody that sat on a court when I sat there knows for a fact that the county was flat broke when we all took office, which now the county's doing a whole lot better. Strictly because we all were pretty conservative of how we did everything. But my record will speak for itself. I did what was right for the county. Maybe it wasn't so much right for getting reelected, but you know, you don't need to worry about that every time, because what you do right for people and for the community is the main thing. You know, I had no problem when I went home to go to sleep. Thank y'all.
Thank you, Anita Jo, and thank you to the Elkton Rotary Club for hosting this event. As Anita Jo just said, I'm Jeff Traughber, and I'm running for the office of Todd County Attorney. My wife of nearly 16 years is Jennifer Traughber. Jennifer and I have 3 children, Todd, who's 11, Lacey, who's 9, and Allie, who turns 6 next week. Now, Lacey had a school play tonight, which is where Todd and Allie are with my mother, but don't worry, I got to see the afternoon performance, so she did great, and I'm sure she's doing great tonight. As many of you know, I'm from Todd County, and I've lived here virtually my entire life. My parents are Brent and Phyllis Traughber, and I grew up on our farm just south of Elkton. Before the schools in Todd County consolidated, I was in Elkton Elk, and then I spent 1 year as a South Todd Elementary Cardinal. I graduated from Todd Central in 1996, and from there I went to Western Kentucky University, where I majored in government and I minored in criminology. From there I went to the Brandeis School of Law at the University of Louisville, and yes, I went to the University of Louisville, but I am a diehard UK fan. I graduated from law school in 2004 and went to work at a fast-paced criminal defense firm in Bowling Green. During the 4 years that I was at that firm, we handled some of the biggest criminal cases in the area and with much success. I loved my time working in Bowling Green. I'm thankful for the experience that it gave me, but my plan was always to come back home and practice in my home county. I currently practice law with Ken Dillingham at our firm, Dillingham and Traughber. I've been in practice with Ken now for nearly 10 years. At Dillingham and Traughber, we serve a wide variety of clients, but the majority of my practice is in serving as city attorney for the three incorporated cities of Elkton, Guthrie, and Trenton. It's that work as city attorney that has really ignited my desire to become attorney. Because there are a lot of similarities between the job responsibilities of that of the city attorney and that of the county attorney. As city attorney, I work closely with the law enforcement officers of each. I've worked on the economic development of each city, including the industrial project that will soon be seen in Guthrie. And I've advised and counseled each city on matters similar to those that are regularly faced by the county. That's who I am, and now I'd like to talk about a few things that I plan on focusing on as Todd County attorney. One role of a county attorney is in the prosecution of traffic and misdemeanor cases. In that role, I plan to be more accessible and supportive of our law enforcement officers. I'll do that by limiting the amount of time that officers have to spend in court prior to trial, so that their time can be better spent out on the streets patrolling. I practice in other counties, and I've seen the way that other counties do this, and I know from that experience that we can improve on that system for our officers. On the county government side of my service as county attorney, I hope to address the situation with our airport. I feel strongly that the current conflict between the airport board and the county could have been and should have been avoided. That conflict has led to litigation that will end up costing both sides thousands of unnecessary dollars. An airport is a good thing for Todd County, and our county attorney should be working to keep it operating and out of litigation that will be fought by expensive Hopkinsville attorneys. Now, there are other issues that I'd like to address, but with limited time, I'll end by saying that Todd County is the home that my wife and I were each born and raised in. We love this community, and I want to continue serving this community in order to make it the best it can be for my family and for yours. I hope you'll give me that opportunity by voting for me on May 22nd. Thank you.
Good evening. I'm Mark Collins. I'm a candidate for the office of Todd County Attorney. For the last 21 years, I've had the privilege of serving as your Assistant County Attorney. I'm married to Jill Collins. We have 3 children, Erica, Chase, and Garrett. As of May 18th of this year, all 3 of our children will have graduated from Todd County Central High School. I attended Morehead State University on a 4-year academic scholarship. While there, I obtained a double major in political science and French, and with a minor in computer science. I also participated in the ROTC program. I was commissioned as a second lieutenant in the United States Army Reserve, and I was one of the top cadets in my class. I was rewarded with that by being offered a slot in the Army Airborne School. After completing college, I applied for law school, was accepted to Northern Kentucky University, Salmon P. Chase College of Law. After law school, I had a 7-month commitment at Fort Knox to complete my officer basic course, which otherwise we call tanker school. After my training at Fort Knox, I then began my legal career with Michael Berman in Hopkinsville, and I also was assigned to the 100th Division Reserve Unit in Hopkinsville. At the Berman Law Firm, I was assigned as a lead attorney for the city of Oak Grove. And if you recall, back in the 90s, Oak Grove at that time was experiencing tremendous growth. After working with Michael Berman, I then began my career with the law offices of Mac Johns in 1997. I worked with him in his private practice, and that's when I also started my career as the assistant Todd County attorney. The Todd County attorney's core duties are to advise the fiscal court, prosecute crimes, handle juvenile cases, assist families in disability cases, and enforce child support orders. Over the last 21 years, I have experience in all these areas. I have advised the fiscal court in the absence of the county attorney. I have worked behind the scenes on many county projects, including the most recent project, the Novellas project down in Guthrie. I prosecuted hundreds of DUIs, also traffic violations, and other criminal misdemeanor crimes. I've assisted many families with obtaining guardianship over loved ones who can no longer make decisions for themselves. I feel I've had a role in the life of some juveniles of Todd County who helped redirect their lives so that they have become productive citizens of the county. In addition to those experiences, I also worked for 3 years as the Assistant County Attorney in Christian County. My roles there was assigned to the Western State Hospital, where I helped determine whether or not people at the hospital, the patients there, could be released or needed to stay longer. I also attended a 3-day seminar in Austin, Texas, where we looked at new and innovative ways to handle juvenile cases. I also got to attend a 2-day seminar in Louisville, Kentucky, and I got to take a local police officer with me in DUI detection and prosecution. I have attended over 18 prosecutors' conferences, as we have annual conferences every year. At these conferences, we learn the modern trends in modern case law affecting criminal prosecutions. In addition to my legal experience, I have been very involved in the community since my family moved here in 1997. I was the chairman of the park board. I've been president of the Gideons, president of the Rotary Club, a member of the Cattlemen's Association, and just recently have been asked to be on the board of directors with the newly formed Chamber of Commerce. I think if you look at my experience and my involvement in this community, that you'll see that I am the best and most qualified candidate to serve as the next Todd County Attorney. And on May 22nd, I humbly ask for your vote. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Tracy White. I'm the incumbent candidate for the office of Todd County Sheriff. My wife, Christy, and I have 4 children, I'm sorry. Sorry to keep up with them. And we currently reside in the Sharon Grove community. I'm a member of the First General Baptist Church, where I'm a preteen and teenage Sunday school teacher, along with my wife. She's a nursery Sunday school teacher. I've got 23 years in law enforcement. In those 23 years, part of that was a narcotics officer. Started out as a deputy here in Todd County. Worked as a canine deputy in Logan County Sheriff's Office, narcotics detective, Penick Narcotics Task Force. And then I came back here as a deputy, and in 2014 was elected as sheriff of Todd County. In the last 3 years and 4 months, one of the most things that we've accomplished that I'm proud of is in the spring of 2015, we applied for a COPS grant through the federal COPS grant program. And during that time when we applied for that grant, I stayed in contact with our state and federal legislators to apprise them and encourage them that, for the importance of this grant, receiving this for a school resource officer. In August of 2015, I was notified that we were awarded this grant. We were one of only 4 agencies in the state that year to receive this grant. With having a school resource officer, not only is it for the protection and law enforcement of our students and our children, is also the current school resource officer we have. She does proactive programs in the schools, such as anti-bullying. We've done a teen police academy, and we're going to continue to do more programs to help with our students. Another thing that we got started, was a chaplain program. That was one of the main things that I wanted to get done. We got that done, we got that implemented. The chaplain program is to assist citizens in this county in any aspect, also for the first responders, such as law enforcement, EMS, fire, and rescue, and to counsel them in case of any kind of bad situation may arise. Have a K-9 program. We do have a K-9 right now. That was one of the first things we got done. It's trained in detection of illegal narcotics and also apprehension of suspects. One of the another thing is I wanted to hit the drug problem full force. Since I took office in January 15, we have investigated 447 incidents of drug incidents. With that, we have seized little over $63,000 in asset forfeitures. Using that money instead of taxpayers' money to bring the Todd County Sheriff's Office into better equipment. We purchased a brand new vehicle with that, body cams, computers in our vehicles, and just better equipment. Also, on the administrative side, we came in under budget every year. I've turned over a little over $83,000 in excess fees every year, with a total of, not every year, but for the 3 years, which is an average of $27,000 a year. When I first started, my budget was $335,000. With the cooperation, the support of the Todd County Fiscal Court, my budget now is a little over $610,000. We went from having 1 deputy in the budget to now I have 4 deputies that patrol, plus the school resource officer, plus the a part-time deputy and myself. So at this time, my family, my staff, and I would ask for your voter support as re-election for the Todd County Sheriff. Thank you.
Good evening. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Jason Clardy, and I'm running for sheriff. I'll start by telling you a little about myself. I moved to Todd County as a child. My father took a job as an engineer at the old Elkton diecast. I attended Todd Central High School. I graduated in 2001. From there, I joined the Marine Corps and did 4 years on active duty. From there, I did another 8 years in the reserves. After my time on active duty, my wife and I returned to Allensville, where we bought our first home. I began my career with the Belanger Police Department. I worked there for about 3 years, and we had our first child, so we decided that we needed to make a career move. So City of Russellville purchased my contract, and I was able to work closer to home. Worked there for several years as a patrolman, and it was shortly after that I was promoted, and I worked my last few years there as a police sergeant, or patrol sergeant. Worked there until 2014. In 2014, I decided to make a career move to the city of Elkton, where I'm now employed as a patrol sergeant. I married my wonderful wife, Brandy Deal of Allensville. We've got 2 children, Alyssa 10 and Will 6. They're both students out at South Todd Elementary. We attend Mount Gilead Baptist Church in Allensville, and I formerly worked as a deputy director of Todd County Emergency Management. I'm a member of the Allensville Volunteer Fire Department, and I'm also on the Todd County Park Board. I volunteer as a youth mentor at Todd Central, and also, where most of you probably see me, as a baseball and soccer coach at the park. Being a sheriff of Todd County has always been my goal. Throughout my career in law enforcement, I've been working towards this. If there was training that I knew would be beneficial to being the sheriff, I attended it. If I worked hard to make sure I was promoted above my peers so that I had the necessary experience to be able to run the sheriff's department. My time at Bowling Green, Russellville, Elkton, all that, coupled with my time in the Marine Corps, I think makes me more than capable of running the sheriff's department, taking it to the next step in the future. Currently, there's several issues that need to be addressed in our community, and I vow to fix them. First, I'm going to make sure that we have 24 officers available 24/7. Officers that are willing and capable of answering calls and patrolling our streets and roads. I'm also going to work closely with all agencies in and around Todd County to better serve our citizens. One agency does not have the resources to handle everything on their own. So my priority has and always will be the safety of the citizens of Todd County, no matter what city or area they live in. I'm also going to remain an active member of the community so that I can create open lines of communication between the Sheriff's Department and the community so that we can identify and better solve the problems that plague our county. I'm also going to continue to work with the youth in our community to help keep them off drugs and to help control the future drug problem. And I'm going to increase the officer presence in the schools so that I can help keep our children safe. I'll leave you with this. The citizens of Todd County are not strangers to my family and I. You're my friends, my family, my neighbors. You're the people that I work with and do business every day. We're a small community that requires everyone to work together, and it's time that our Sheriff's Department joins in that. As Sheriff, I've dedicated my life to our community and the citizens. And as Sheriff, I will have an even greater impact on our community. My family and I appreciate your vote in November. Thank you.
First off, I'd like to thank everyone for taking the time out of your busy schedules to come and hear from your candidates.
My name is Brad Powell, and I'm running for Todd County Clerk on the Republican ticket. I feel it's very important that you know who your candidates are. What is their character? What is their qualifications? What is their goals? And how will they conduct themselves, not only in the office but as a whole? Because the candidate that you elect represents you and all of Todd County, everywhere you go, and everywhere that they go and everything that they do. I am a native of Todd County. My parents are Dan and Joy Powell with us tonight. I've been happily married for 21 years to my wife Joyce, who is the daughter of Billy and Nancy Laster. And we have 2 boys, Weston and Carson. I have material out front with more of my biography, qualifications, and accomplishments, but I really want to get to what my goals are if elected as Todd County Clerk. On the campaign trail, I'm sure that each one of us have heard the same thing, that voters are wanting changes in the office. Number 1, electronic payment options. Number 2, electronic public records. And number 3, a timely completion of tasks. I feel I bring a huge advantage to the table on meeting these needs. As Director of Nursing at Hearthstone Place, I was heavily involved with converting paper documentation over to electronic medical records. Recently, we've converted our quality assurance program into an electronic program for simplified tracking and convenience. And when it comes to carrying out tasks, I feel that cross-training of staff is a must. Every employee should be skilled to complete the tasks required in day-to-day business operations. And as the director of a nursing department, I have to ensure that each one of my nurses can carry out every procedure that a patient requires. So we do a lot of group in-service and a lot of group education and training. And I feel like the same principles would apply to the clerk's office in order to run it the most efficiently. So I believe that updating electronic payments, electronic record keeping, and cross-training, I feel it can be accomplished easily in a short period of time. So what sets me apart from other candidates? I consider myself an outside-of-the-box thinker. I'm very open-minded to the ideas of others. I love teamwork, and I desire to see things progress. Because if you're not moving forward in life, you're falling behind, and we can't do that in Todd County. I will strive to provide the best customer service and hospitality available. In my current position, customer satisfaction means everything. And I intend to carry that over. I also love to work with and encourage youth to reach their potential. I believe that as community leaders, we must invest in our youth because they are our future. So I would like to see an internship program in the clerk's office where we could select a number of students throughout the year to work in the office. There they would learn hands-on professionalism, customer service, work ethics, and what it means to be on time for a job and to be responsible. I would also like to visit the idea of more flexible hours for customer convenience. I currently staff an industry that never sleeps. We have staff 24/7. So why not stagger the hours of office personnel so that the office could open earlier and stay open later, allowing customers convenience to conduct their business before they go to work or after they get off of work. These are just a few of the ideas that I have. And lastly, motivational speaker Zig Ziglar said it best. It's your attitude, not your aptitude, that will determine your altitude. I'm a very positive and encouraging person. I try to see the best in everyone in every situation. I try to motivate others to be the best that they can be. And it would be my honor to serve you and represent you as Todd County Clerk. So all I can ask is for your prayerful consideration and decision as you vote on May the 22nd. Thanks again for your time and support. God bless.
Good evening. I am Lucille Bryant, and I'm running for your Todd County Board Clerk on the Republican ticket. I'm the daughter of the late J.C. and Brice from Sharon Grove, Kentucky. I've lived in Sharon Grove all my life. I'm married to Billy Bryant, 35 years, 6 months, 10 days, and 9 hours. We have 2 grown children. We have Hillary Bobbitt Bryant is married to Joshua Bobbitt, and they have 4 children. We have a son, Lance Bryant, and he's married to Heather Chapman Bryant. They have 1 son, Eli. And my grandkids are my life, almost. Okay, a few qualifications that I feel like I'm qualified for the job. First and foremost, work ethics. I've been employed for 38 years and started working a public job when I was 16 years old. If you do the math, I'm 54. I'm the oldest of the candidates, okay? I'm a dedicated, honest, and hardworking, and I do take responsibility. Number 2, customer service. 30 years of customer service. I've worked in the public. I feel like this is a priority at any job and that you do or any businesses have great customer service. Fast, we preach in our office, fast, friendly service. Answer your phone with a smile in your voice. Give everybody the same equal treatment. It doesn't matter age, race, whatever. You treat them all the same. Give 101%. Go above and beyond your call of duty. Number 3, or 4, 3. I lost my count. Collections. The job that I'm in now, I work for a personal finance company, and I've been with them. I've been in the finance business for 23 years. We do a lot of collections, 25 years of collection experience. This has developed a problem-solving skill in which I plan on implementing in our office to hopefully maybe collect some back taxes and retain some money back in our office. Number 4, budgets. 20 years experience. I'm New Cedar Grove's church treasurer, where I pay all the taxes, all the expenses, make all the deposits, report each month to the church, or do the payroll, pay quarterly taxes, and report quarterly taxes to the IRS and Kentucky Department of Revenue and our local Todd County treasurer. I also serve on the Sharon Grove Park Board, where I'm the treasurer there. Of course, we've only been doing that for 1 year. Office manager experience. 17 years as an office manager, and I've learned that you have to be a multitasker. Proactive, be energetic, have a great leadership skills, maintain a positive attitude, and be responsible and still be a team player with everybody. And I believe I have all these qualifications. Now, as far as goals, like Bradley, you hear everybody talk about what are you going to do when you get in the office. And I also want to implement the electronic payment system for the debit and credit card machines. It's just going to help our community and serve our county more efficiently. And to scan in the documents, the current documents as well as archive documents to make it accessible for online for research. And number 3, update the voters registration list and keep it more accurate. When I've been out on the trail, I've run into people that have not been living at this address for 5 years, 9 years. People's on the list that's been deceased for several years. So some way or another, I like to do some cross training to get that more current and up to date. And I'd just like to say it'd be an honor to be, to serve as your Todd County Court Clerk.
Okay, first I would like to thank God for me opening my mouth and something coming out. Okay, and also I'd like to thank the Rotary Club for hosting this forum, and for Carrol Frogue and Lucille Bryant and Bradley Powell for all being running clean campaigns. Okay, my name is Leslie Cunningham. I've been married for 26 years. I have 3 children, Kristen, Mason, and Matthew. I'm a 1988 graduate of Todd Central. I'm currently employed as a deputy clerk at the Todd County Clerk's office, where I've been working for a total of 13 years. I'm also a lifelong member of the New Hope Baptist Church, and I have resided in Todd County all my life, never wanting to live anywhere else. I've had many experiences at the clerk's office, some good, some bad. But all the while, they were all learning experiences. I have worked under 3 different county clerks, Billy Fowler, who we all learned empathy for the elderly and how to trade pocket knives, and Kim Chapman, who's recently retired, and the current appointed county clerk, Cindy O'Brien. I'm not starting off by telling you that I have more education than my opponents, because I do not. But I do have experience for the last 8 years on the front lines of the clerk's office. And my friend, there is no substitute for experience. I didn't just wake up one day and decide this is what I wanted to do. It's been a lifestyle for me. I do have a few ideas for improvement in the clerk's office. We are currently working on debit card, credit card machines, and they should be installed within the next couple of weeks. And I want the office to be more personable and friendly. And the marriage records and the wills are a lot of what people call us about, because they do genealogy work and they're not close to see. So I would like to get those online because they are currently not. And also, I would like to stay out front with the other deputies and continue to interact with the customers as much as possible. And I have also contacted Congressman Kerr about the Veterans Administration coming back to our county, which they used to do. And I asked if maybe they could come back maybe bi-weekly or monthly, but they said it would probably be quarterly, but they thought that could be obtained. And I made several friends through working at the clerk's office. And a few years ago, my house burned. And it was the people that I met through the clerk's office that came to my rescue and lifted my spirits and brought me back up. People that I just waited on that maybe I'd helped at some point. They brought me food, they brought me gift cards, money, just because in some other time I'd helped them at some point. So I would really covet your prayers and your votes. I don't know how to do anything else except for sawmill, and then I'm a bit too old for that. So I would humbly ask for your vote May 22nd as your Democratic candidate for Todd County Clerk's office. God bless and thank you.
Good evening. I'm Amy Carol Frogue, and I'm your Democratic candidate for Todd County Clerk. I've left some information on the tables out front that kind of contains my background, education, and community involvement, so that you all can take a time to review that yourself. For those of you all viewing online, that information is available via my Facebook campaign page. I currently serve as the Associate Director of Community and Economic Development at the Penny Riley Development District, where I've been employed for the last 16 years. Serving as the Associate Director, I'm responsible for the oversight and coordination of a 9-member department, the identification of revenue streams and budgetary management for the department, and providing assistance to 42 city and county governments, as well as multiple other special districts with regard to financing and developing projects for our region. Working across city and county lines is something we do every day. Coordination among local governments and staff and problem solving are key components to success in my current position, all are qualities which can be used in the county clerk's office. I consider my work at PAD to be one of my greatest and most rewarding accomplishments. I've been fortunate enough to be just a small part in hundreds of projects that have made our region a better place for our families to live, work, and play. This work has allowed me to be instrumental in bringing over $7.2 million in grant funding to Todd County alone. So what do I see as the primary issues for the county clerk's office? I've got 5 goals that I would like to accomplish as Todd County Clerk. As others have said, upgrading technologies for record keeping and record search, as well as electronic payment acceptance to bring the office up to today's business standards. I want to ensure employees are trained in all aspects of office operations to ensure we reduce interruptions in service when someone is absent from the office. I'd like to develop a partnership with the school system to provide voter registration and educational opportunities for our students, as well as explore opportunities for alternative business hours so we can accommodate all citizens, including those that work outside of Todd County during traditional business hours. I want to continue to run the office efficiently and effectively within budget constraints, all the while creating a friendly, professional, and customer service-oriented environment at the clerk's office. I believe that the role of county clerk requires a certain set of skills and experience to be successful. And this includes experience in leadership and personnel management, experience in budget management and implementation, the ability to multitask and handle stressful situations in a professional manner, a strong work ethic, and the desire to provide a level of customer service that goes above and beyond the call of duty, and the ability to see how the operation of the clerk's office fits into the overall services offered by local government. Because I possess all of these qualities and experience, I believe I'm the best candidate to serve as your next Todd County Clerk. My career choice and extensive community involvement prove that public service is not a job to me, it's a passion. My why are those 2 little ones sitting in the back of the room. I want to be a part of the change that makes this a better place for them to grow old. I want to leave you all with a challenge tonight. Go vote. Allow democracy to work. Let these candidates be your voice. And vote for the candidate you feel is the best for the future of our county. Because the votes we cast today not only affect us, but the children and grandchildren that will call this place home. I'm ready to bring my passion, devotion, and commitment home to work for you all. Let me put my education, experience, work ethic, and other assets to work for Todd County. I would very much appreciate your vote for Todd County Clerk on May 22nd. Thank you all.
Well, it's good to see everyone. Again, thanks to the Rotary Club for sponsoring this. You know, I'm probably the longest running one. I've been at it for over 12 years now this year. So I was appointed when Mr. Stokes passed away several years ago. And we've gone through quite a bit over the years. The last 12 years have really been quite an ordeal. Had to build the jail from the ground up. When I first started, they handed me a bunch of keys. They walked out and said, "It's all yours." Well, it was me all by my little self, and I had to build everything. We had no beds, we had no computers, we had no telephones, we had absolutely nothing. So I by myself had to go in there, get everything together, and had just a few short months to go ahead and get all that stuff put together, hire some people, and get it together. By the middle of September of that year, within about 3 months, we were up and running, and we hit the road going. And it's been really quite a challenge through the years. If you aren't aware of it, the jail is not exactly your just 9-to-5 place where you go home at the end of the day. We're open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And it doesn't calm down at night. When everybody goes to bed at night, that place is still running hard. They're still bringing people in, and it still goes all the time. And we're required by law to have a certain number of people on duty, on staff all the time. And over the years, we've done very well, very, very well. I can't say anything more about it. I think that's one of the reasons I've won the elections that I've won. Over the past several years, I've been like the #1 vote getter. I haven't even lost a precinct. We've done an extremely, extremely good job. And the things that we do, we look into it, we sit down, we analyze things. We have a weekly training session where we sit down and analyze, can we change this, can we change that? Is our food sufficient? Is it meeting the needs of each person? And we go through all these things on a weekly basis, so we're always aware of what's going on. And I think that's one of the reasons we've had such good success with a margin of wins in the elections over the past several years. And it's always been that way. You know, the fiscal court is extremely happy. I mean, it's all smiles because at this point, I think last year we put in about $150,000 into the jail, which is just unbelievably a low amount. It is extremely low amount, and everyone's done really well. Each year we've been able to increase wages for people, and we're up to a place that we're extremely competitive now, and it's been a real journey to get everyone to that place. Of course, something else we also do too, and we started this years ago, we work with the Sheriff's Department real well because he, like us, is open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And we do a lot of transporting for the Sheriff's Department. It's always helped him out, gives him more time on the road, and it assists us too. We have some part-time people that can do transporting, and it all works out very well. So what I'm going to do is just ask for your vote again. Been at it for 12 years. I intend to stay at it maybe 12 more years too. Thank you very much.
Thank the Rotary Club for having us tonight. My name is John Parker. I'm asking for your vote for Republican candidate for Todd County Jailer. I'm 34 years old. I'm married to my high school sweetheart, Tiffany, for the past 13 years. We have 3 sons, Cade, who is 10, Jackson, who's 8, and Gibson, who's 6. I was born and raised in Charleston, South Carolina. My father, John Parker, is from Logan County, and my mother, Pamela Garrell Parker, is from Todd County, along with her parents, my grandparents, Stanley and Sue Garrell. My father was in the U.S. Navy, and that's how we made it to Charleston. I spent every summer and every holiday of my life with my grandparents and always joked that my home may be in South Carolina, but my heart's in Todd County. I graduated from a private Christian high school in 2001 and began an apprenticeship to become a fire inspector. I also joined the South Carolina National Guard and enlisted in the infantry at that time, and continued my career in the fire inspection until 2010 when I was discharged out the South Carolina National Guard. Leaving the military in 2010 made me miss a uniform in the military structure. I decided to seek a career in law enforcement. I was hired by the South Carolina Department of Corrections as an officer and graduated at the top of my academy and was elected by my peers as a class leader. While there, I was promoted to corporal and tasked as a supervisor of death row, which is South Carolina Department of Corrections' highest form and their highest security level. I was also a member of the department's rapid response team, which is much like a police department SWAT team. In January of 2012, I was involved in a disturbance to where approximately 300 inmates overpowered the dorm's officers and began to riot. I was a part of that rapid response team that regained control of that dorm. After being a part of that and seeing what those offenders could do and seeing what they were capable of, I realized it wasn't so much about force, that these people truly needed help. And that was when I gained a great passion for the career. Fast forward to the beginning of 2016, our family decided that the Charleston area was growing a little too large and it wasn't quite what we wanted to raise our kids in. So we made the decision to come to Todd County and decide to raise our kids in an area, a small town community. Tiffany is a registered nurse and loves her job. The boys attend North Todd Elementary School and they seem to like it. They play all the sports here in Todd County. And I began to work at the Logan County Detention Center. While I was there, I was promoted to the administrative captain. I oversaw payroll, training, accounting for the daily money intake, commissary, and supervised the programs director, the Class D coordinator, and the visitation deputy. I was also the commander of their special response team, which is much like a SWAT team. I brought it and formed it into an elite team of deputies. I just resigned at the end of March to focus on campaigning and my family, and if not elected, I plan on returning in some capacity as a correctional officer. Being involved in local law enforcement, it kind of opened my eyes to some of the shortcomings in Todd County and at the jail, and not just Todd County's jail, but jails all across the nation. Jails and prisons across the nation have fallen into the complacency of becoming warehouses for people. They are brought in, booked in, given a number, and placed onto a shelf where they just collect dust. Also, deputies are kind of treated like warehouse workers. I want to provide the training and treat our deputies like law enforcement professionals that they truly are. Offenders need to be given the tools and correction they need to be rehabilitated. We are the Department of Corrections and not the Department of Warehousing. I believe my time's up, but if you look at my Facebook page, John Parker for Todd County Jailer, you can see a lot of the stuff I post weekly on all my plans, and I appreciate it if you vote for me.
Hello, I'm Jeff Penick. I've come here tonight to introduce myself and to ask for your vote. I would like to be elected to the Todd County Jailer, but know this, if you ever see a turtle on top of a fence post, he didn't get there without somebody else's help, and I'm coming to ask for your help. I'm a Republican candidate for jailer. I'm a U.S. Air Force veteran that served as a military police supervisor and management analyst. I'm a member of American Legion, Post 91, and I'm the past president and current secretary treasurer of the Elkton Rotary Club. I'm also the treasurer for the Todd County Republican Party Executive Committee. I'm employed by the Todd County Board of Education in 2 positions. I work at Todd Central High School as an employment specialist, and I'm a district bus driver assigned to Guthrie. I also preach for the Lewisburg Church of Christ. I've worked inside the Todd County Jail from 2008 to 2015, teaching and providing educational services for the inmates. Our Todd County Adult Education Program helped over 91 inmates earn GED diplomas and National Career Readiness certificates. Our program was noted as the top performing adult education program in the state of Kentucky for multiple years. I formerly worked with the Juvenile Diversion Program that was designed to give first-time offenders a second chance. I currently serve as one of 4 volunteer chaplains that are associated with Todd County Emergency Services. I have 3 platform points and 3 things that I'd like to do as jailer. And concentrating on those 3 things are bringing about safety. I believe when it comes to training, it needs to be something that is continuous and advanced. and that will end up making the jail itself more secure and will make our community safer. I also believe that we need to have and maintain a funded and stable, and notice I said the word stable, workforce of qualified employees, and I believe that will have a direct impact on community safety and jail safety. Making key leadership changes at the detention center will help address the current problem we have of extremely high employee turnover rates. A second platform point is efficiency. Revenues are generated by our jail housing Class D state inmates. The Todd County Health Department's vacating the building that's adjoined next to the jail and will be moving into a facility that's next to Dairy Queen on West Main Street. I'd like to explore the future potential of the fiscal court to determine if the jail that is in the connected building can be affordably and safely modified to house an additional 30 state inmates to complete a substance abuse program. The services would be beneficial in helping addicts to quit their habit and also to make our jail more financially self-sufficient while generating additional income. My platform point number 3 is dependability. The jail housing inmates has over $2 million of expenses each year. Therefore, since it costs our county that much money to house inmates, then we should get and expect to have good community services. It's beneficial to our county, and it's also beneficial to the people that are incarcerated. It's good for them physically and mentally. Why should somebody vote for me? You should vote for me because I actually care about the county where I live, and all I want to do is make a positive difference. You should vote for me because I do have a diverse realm of experience in working with people that have been involved in the criminal justice system. I've been with people in their lowest and darkest hours of life, and my work as a minister over the past 28 years. And I have a master's degree in adult education and a bachelor's degree in criminal justice. You should vote for me because I enjoy setting goals and accomplishing goals that involve organizational improvement and excellence. You should also vote for me because I will cooperatively work with fiscal court to run the jail in a safe and efficient manner. So I ask for your vote for Todd County Jailer.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is William Dunn, and I'm running for the office of jailer. My family has a long history in Todd County. My mother, Sarah Dunn, grew up right here in Elkton, one of 6 children born to Henry and Katie Bell. I myself have worked here. I play here. I live here. I love Todd County. I'm in a unique position among our Republican candidates, as I have worked in our detention center as a booking sergeant. I have seen the daily operations. I've seen what works, and I've seen what does not. I graduated Juvenile Justice Academy at the top of my class. I have served as a youth worker in the Warren Regional Detention Center, which is in Bowling Green, Kentucky. I've spent many years as an MHA in Sibley House program working with troubled teens. I have a vision for our detention center. I would like to see, as Mr. Penick, a SAP program in place along with an MRT program. These programs will help inmates transition back to society while bringing more revenue into Todd County. I would bring our commissary and inmate phone system into the 21st century by making them a web-based system that would be more streamlined. I would address the turnover problem we have with our deputies. I believe that higher pay with a structured pay set, along with more training and a more solid adherence to the chain of command would help retain them. Keeping them should be our biggest priority. I am asking you for the job of jailer. I am committed to making our detention center a better place to work and a continued revenue source for Todd County. I would like to thank you for your time being here this evening. God bless you, and God bless our county.
Hi, good evening. I'm Wayne Belanger. I'm running for Magistrate for the 3rd District. To tell you a little about myself, I served in the U.S. Army and am a veteran of Desert Storm. I also have a degree in aviation technology and currently own Belanger Converter Recycling, which has been a successful business for over 15 years. I have lived in Todd County for around 30 years now. I have a daughter that teaches biology at Todd County Central High School and a son that currently works for me but he's looking to take over the business one day. I've been an active member of the community. I am on the Elkton Rotary, on the West Kentucky Workforce Board, and volunteer my time on the Area 2 Dive and Rescue Team. I'm also a member of the American Legion. My purpose in running for magistrate of the 3rd District is the commitment to improving the community for our citizens. For example, making sure that the budget is balanced properly and that the citizens' money is being spent in a way that benefits everyone. Money being spent should improve roads, bridges, and other projects that will help and make our county more beautiful. I've been out riding around the county campaigning, and I have noticed a few problems that I would like to see fixed. I would like to work towards improvements on the bridge on Davis Mill Road, with special focus on the flooding problems seen on this road. Flooding here is a constant problem that needs to be taken care of. Other projects I would like to see undertaken are Watts Road and C Road. I would like to ask the people of the 3rd District to vote for me as Magistrate of Todd County. I think I'm the best choice for this position because I have balanced the budget every week and be cautious of my spending, just like I would as magistrate. I'm a great listening to people and helping solve issues. I'm attentive when looking for new ways to solve problems and always ready to compromise and work with others. Thank you.
My name's John Kemp. I'm a current magistrate of District 3. I've been married to Wanda Williams Camp for a little over 40 years. I have 3 daughters, Stacy Camp, Katie Knight, and Susan Camp. I have 3 grandchildren, and another one on the way, be here sometime right after the election. I'm very proud of what we've done in the last 8 years as a court. We've got the county on a lot better financial feet than it was when we got there. We've paid some debts off early. We put back some money, and putting back the money and saving a little gave us the ability to get an developer to come in here. Without the money that we put back and been able to save, we would never have gotten them. Why should you vote for me? I've had 8 years of experience. I'm a conservative, and I'll do everything I can to spend your tax dollars wisely. Thank you.
I would like to thank the Rotary Club for having this forum. It's a great thing to do. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Working together with the Physical Court and the Industrial Foundation and others in our county, we have landed the largest factory, potentially, our county has ever had. This could possibly lead to other jobs related to this company. And that means more citizens to come to our county, and that means more taxes, more tax money for our county. More importantly, it could keep more of our children and grandchildren in our county. I like that idea. Also, we have increased our money to our volunteer fire departments from $500 to $3,000. This will help keep our homes and families safer, and it will help our homeowners' insurance to stay low. Other things that I've done, I have spearheaded a group called Historic Todd County, Inc. to turn the centerpiece of our county, the old 1835 courthouse, into a museum. And that should increase our tourism in our county and bring more revenue to our local businesses. This entity also will be involved in other historical projects throughout our county. Oh, Lord. Another project I began with the help of everyone in our community. We hope to make the Sharon Grove Park a park that we can all be proud of. I spearheaded that also. My goals for the next term are to increase revenue to our county parks with no matching money, a long-term road program so that my district roads can have a chance to improve every year, not just decline.
Well, I had a physical today, and my blood pressure was 125/81, and I'm here to tell you it's spiked. My name is Travis Combs. I'm a candidate for Magistrate of District 2. I've lived in District 2 my entire life. My parents have lived there their entire lives, since they were married, my entire life too. I feel as I'm very qualified for this position. I graduated in Todd Central in 2011. I graduated Western Kentucky University with a bachelor's in ag business in 2015. Currently I farm at my small row crop operation in Tobacco, and I work at Pinnacle Ag in Russellville. I bring to the table a different perspective. A lot of people in the county don't know what a magistrate is. I didn't know that until I started knocking on doors and saying I'm running for magistrate, and then you have to go into a spiel of the duties and responsibilities. Several people are intimidated by magistrates. They don't know them. They're not, it's not a very widespread known name of who they are or what's going on. It's listed on websites and, in the paper. But a lot of young people today don't read the paper. They're on social media and things of that nature. And when I say young people, I mean people under 35. It's the paper and the way that people communicate is changing every day with technology and the way the world is just revolving. I just ask for your vote because 2 minutes is pretty quick. You can't get up here and say everything, but I ask for your vote because I bring a different perspective and I open mind and open ears to the people of District 2. And thank you and God bless.
Well, my name is Randy Thomas and I'm seeking the position of District 2 Magistrate. My wife Christy and I have one son, Nicholas. We all reside in the Sharon Grove community on our family farms. We're lifelong residents of Todd County. I'm a fertilizer representative for Instagrow Liquid Plant Food out of Caledonia, Ohio. I'm also on the board of directors of the Sharon Grove Volunteer Fire Department, and I also serve as a trustee at Bellevue Baptist Church. As a magistrate, I will work with the proper entities to increase the revenue in Todd County. I believe that more jobs can be brought to Todd County. We can secure a better future for our children and our families through better employment opportunities. Right now in District 2, the roadways are much needed improvement. I would like to utilize the appropriate funds to improve our roadways. As Magistrate of District 2, I will maintain a positive working relationship with other court members as well as other officials of the county and the state to help Todd County move forward. I would like to thank the Elkton Rotary Club for providing this forum and also the meeting for their coverage. My glasses about to fall off. In closing, if elected a magistrate of District 2, I will strive to make Todd County a better place to live. Thank you.
Good evening. I'm Marvin Chandler. I was born and raised in Todd County. I've lived here all my life. I'm married to my wife, Martha, 49 years. I have one daughter, Tammy Tinsley, and 3 grandchildren, 2 girls and 1 boy. I attend Jones Chapel General Baptist Church, where I currently serve on the deacon board. I've been a song leader for several years, a Sunday school teacher. I've also sat on the Farm Bureau Board of Directors. My education was 12 years in Todd County schools, 2 years vocational, where I learned to be an auto mechanic, as it's called. I retired in 2017. I was 40 years as a certified technician. I know what it's like to work with people in the public and private sectors. I know what it means. You know, we may not always agree, but I think that we should come to an agreement. I've been asked by several people, when I decided to run for this office, they said, "Are you crazy?" I said, "Maybe, I don't know." But you know, I thought about it a long time before I decided to do this. And I know that I couldn't support my district and the people of Todd County with the job and everything. I know we have problems, we'll have problems in the future, but I hope we can work them out. I believe in honesty, being trustworthy, and getting the job or the task done. I appreciate your vote. Thank you.
My name is James Kenneth, Greenfield. I'm a lifelong resident of Todd County, mostly. I was 7 years in Logan County. I'm a 1977 graduate of Todd Central High School. The reason I'm running for magistrate, I've had some people to say, ask why. Well, Dad always said hard work gets you everything. And it's also about the people in the community. We need to be listening to them instead of everybody else. Bobby Adams once told us, we work in a small community, we've got to work with the people. That's what I want to do, work with the people, then work with fiscal court. The people's what counts first. Thank you.